Every single day, you see it, right?
Yeah.
Businesses everywhere grappling with this really fundamental challenge, finding the right people, the right talent.
Absolutely. And on the flip side, you've got millions of individuals out there searching, constantly looking for that fulfilling career path, something that clicks with their skills and what they really want to do.
It's this constant push and pull, this like essential dance between demand and supply.
Yeah.
It really does underpin our whole economy when you think about it.
It's more than just a dance now, though. It
Well-
feels more like complex choreography, especially with how fast things are changing in the workforce landscape today. Businesses aren't just looking for warm bodies anymore.
No, exactly.
They need specific skills, flexibility, partners who can actually navigate all the complexities of modern employment.
And that's precisely why today we're doing a deep dive into an industry that sits smack bang in the middle of this dynamic, an industry perfectly placed to bridge that gap, the staffing industry. And more specifically, we want to unpack why it might present a really compelling and, frankly, resilient business model for you to consider.
Yeah, our mission today is basically to pull back the curtain on what makes the staffing sector tick as a business venture. We've dug into a whole stack of different sources, everything from the big established giants
Right.
to some really specialized, innovative players, especially in the franchise world. We want to explore not just what it is, but why it's so resilient, why it can be so profitable, and honestly, the impact it can have.
Yeah, the impact is key. We've got a great overview lined up, drawing from big names like Express Employment Professionals and MR Network Real Leaders. But we also looked at specialized firms like Patrice & Associates. They've carved out a niche in hospitality recruiting, and CPG recruitment. They focus only on full-time placements, which is different, not temp work.
Interesting distinction.
Plus, insights from newer concepts like Next Staff and Pride Staff. Each one gives a unique angle on this really thriving and adaptable sector. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with the macro view, the big picture. Why staffing and why right now? The core opportunity, and all our sources shout this loud and clear, is the dramatically increasing demand.
Huge demand.
Businesses everywhere, almost every sector, are genuinely struggling to find people, to keep people. These staffing shortages are growing year after year. It's not just a blip. It feels like a systemic challenge now.
You're absolutely right. It's not just a pinch. For many, it's like a full-blown talent crisis.
Yeah.
And the scale of this market, it's just massive. Globally, we're talking, almost a $500 billion industry?
Incredible numbers.
Yeah. And in the U.S. alone, sales were estimated around $212 billion back in 2022. Some projections, like one linked to Express, even suggest it could hit $648 billion. More recent U.S. estimates for 2023 are around $201.7 billion. These aren't just numbers on a page. They show this fundamental, undeniable demand that just keeps growing.
And what's really fascinating here, connecting it back, is how work itself is changing, the whole nature of it. Our sources point to this shift away from the old model, the long-term, full-time salary job. That's changing for a lot of Americans. Temp work, contract work, what they often call contingent workers.
The gig economy buzz.
Exactly. It's not just a trend anymore. It seems to be a permanent fixture. There was even a projection floating around that contingent workers might make up 40% of the workforce back by 2021. It just shows this huge shift in how employers and employees relate.
It really does.
And that creates this ongoing need for agile staffing solutions that, frankly, old school hiring methods just can't keep up with efficiently.
So, boiling it all down, what's the core takeaway for someone thinking about starting a business here? It's this simple but really powerful idea. Companies always need good people, and people are always looking for good jobs.
Always.
Staffing agencies are just the essential bridge. They make that critical match happen. It's a timeless need, just packaged differently now, maybe more complex, more opportunities, which is where these firms really make their mark.
Okay, so moving into our next section. If you're considering jumping into this space, the franchise model offers some pretty significant advantages, things you might not get starting completely on your own.
Yeah, built-in support.
Exactly. Built-in support systems and a level of sophistication right from day one. A lot of our sources really stress this. As a franchisee, you're never alone.
That's a massive selling point, isn't it? Especially if you're new to entrepreneurship or maybe coming out of a corporate role. Take MRA Network, for instance. They talk about providing these sophisticated business solutions, an experienced exec team, even a global community to learn from peers.
That peer network is valuable.
Hugely. Plus, expert business advice, top-notch training, a full tech stack ready to go, marketing support. And imagine having access to like 150 plus vetted vendors already lined up. That's not just support, it's a whole ecosystem.
It really is. And others too, like CPG recruitment. They highlight how their HQ support teams are just a phone call or even text away. Plus, they provide training tools to get you up and running fast.
Quick ramp up is key.
Definitely. And NextStaff goes a step further. They offer comprehensive back office support. Things like payroll, HR, legal stuff.
Oh, that's huge.
Isn't it? It lets owners focus their energy on revenue-generating activities, building client relationships, finding talent instead of getting swamped by admin. They also make a point about their direct, personal approach to support, unlike some bigger systems maybe.
And you can't ignore the big players. Express Employment Professionals boasts unrivaled support, drawing on, what, over 40 years in the game?
Decades of experience.
Yeah. And PrideStaff also delivers a whole suite of tools, training, ongoing support. They emphasize personalized help, innovation, using the latest tech. It's clear these franchises aren't just licensing a name, they're giving you a blueprint and a partner. Hard to replicate that solo.
And it goes beyond just general help. Many offer proprietary processes, unique ways of doing things that help you stand out.
Like a secret sauce.
Kind of. NextStaff has their X Factor. It's a customized solution they develop with each client. The goal is to make that franchise owner different from the competition down the street. It's not just talk. It could be unique ways they source candidates or assess clients or even retain talent.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
And PrideStaff talks about their edge being innovation, tech, being agile, having favorable royalty terms, a franchise-friendly agreement. MRI Network even claims their level of sophistication is far beyond other networks or franchises. So you're buying into a proven method, maybe even advanced tech, that helps you make better matches faster. That's a real edge.
Okay, let me jump in here because this seems like a perfect moment. When you're looking at all these options, trying to find that right fit, that proven method you just mentioned, it can feel overwhelming.
Absolutely. Making the right choice is critical.
Which is why working with someone like Phyllis Puri, franchise strategist, can be invaluable. You're not just randomly picking a business. Phyllis offers a proven, personalized pathway. She brings 4 decades of inside industry experience and works with a network of over 200 vetted premier franchisors to match you with a concept that actually fits your lifestyle, your values, and your financial goals. Why try to figure it all out alone when you can partner with a guide who's navigated this exact path before?
That kind of expert guidance can make all the difference in finding that perfect match among all these great options we're discussing.
Exactly. So, building on that idea of a proven method and support, let's talk about something really interesting for potential owners.
Yeah.
Recurring revenue and scalability.
Yes, the residual income potential is a big draw here. NextStaff points out that many clients use staffing services regularly, like it's just a normal part of their business rhythm.
Ongoing need.
And that translates into consistent residual billing for the franchisee. That means a much more stable, predictable income stream compared to just one-off deals. MRI Network also flags contract staffing as a key way to build that recurring revenue.
And the growth potential seems baked in, too. PrideStaff even mentions scalable add-on divisions. So as your business grows, you can add new services or expand into different areas, creating more revenue streams.
Exactly. It's not just about landing the next client. It's about building something sustainable, something that grows with predictable cash flow. That's pretty much the dream for any entrepreneur.
Couldn't agree more. So this blend of support and stable revenue models naturally leads us to the financials and, importantly, the lifestyle appeal. And maybe surprisingly for some, the entry point, the investment level, can be pretty accessible for many of these franchises.
Yeah, some definitely promote genuinely low startup costs, especially considering the earning potential we're seeing.
Let's look at some numbers just to give folks an idea. CPG Recruitment, Inc. mentioned an overall investment around $50,000, needing about $25,000 in liquid cash. Snelling's range is a bit wider, maybe $45,000 up to $150,000 total, with $50K liquid.
Okay.
Patrice & Associates is around $90,000 to $93,000 total, needing $75K liquid. Still within reach for many compared to other business ventures with this kind of upside.
Absolutely. What about some of the others?
PrideStaff is around $100,000 to $193,000 total investment. And very interestingly, they're waiving their franchise fee for new territories through April 2025. That's a significant saving right off the bat.
Wow, yeah, $40,000 waived. That's big.
It is. The next half, maybe $127,000 to $162,000 total. Liquid needed is $175,000. Express employment professionals, a bit higher, $132,000 to $213,000 total with $130K liquid. So yeah, there's definitely a range, something to fit different budgets, but all pretty accessible for a potentially high-earning business.
And speaking of high earning, the profitability figures really are impressive. This is where it gets exciting. Next staff, looking at their 2024 FDD, that's the franchise disclosure document, where they have to lay out the key numbers.
Right, the official details.
They reported average unit revenue of over $2.5 million, $2,583,887, and an average gross profit of $562,698. Their 2021 numbers were actually even higher on average. These are substantial figures.
Wow. And Express, they're a giant.
They are. They hit $4.46 billion in annual sales in 2022. Their new offices average almost $6 million in sales in the first 2 years. Mature offices, over $6.4 million annually on average. It shows massive potential and a proven history of success across their network.
What's also really compelling and de-risks things for a new owner is how quickly some break even. Nextstaff mentioned an average break even of just over 8 months, 8.43 months. The median was even faster, only 6.5 months back in 2021.
That's incredibly fast for a new business.
Isn't it? It means less time worrying about just surviving and more time and capital focused on growth.
And beyond just getting profitable quickly, there are cash flow advantages too. Snelling, for example, pays its franchisees weekly through settlement statements.
Weekly? That's unusual.
It is. They contrast it with competitors who might pay monthly and maybe hold back funds that haven't been collected yet. Getting paid weekly provides much more consistent cash flow for running the business and your personal life. It's a game changer.
Okay, strong financials are great, obviously. But what about life outside the office? Do these models offer any flexibility?
Many do emphasize that. Express talks about flexible weekday hours, a professional setting, traditional operating hours, meaning you get evenings and weekends back, more time for personal stuff, family.
That's appealing.
Yeah, and CPG Recruitment even mentions a home-based model, which could be perfect for some entrepreneurs. They talk about designing a launch strategy that fits your current lifestyle. That's a powerful combination. Financial independence and personal freedom.
So it sounds good on paper, financially, operationally, but what does it actually feel like to run one of these? Is it just about placing people?
Not at all. There's a really profound intrinsic reward that comes up again and again. Nextstaff describes their mission as changing the way America hires. One life, one business, one community at a time.
That's powerful phrasing.
It is. They call it a win-win business.
Yeah.
You're genuinely helping people find good jobs, helping companies find needed talent, and making a real, tangible impact on your local community's economy.
That's got to be incredibly rewarding, going way beyond just making a transaction. Express echoes this too. They note the community impact. Their average office places 600 job seekers a year.
Wow, 600 people.
Yeah. Imagine the satisfaction knowing you helped 600 people find work, support their families, contribute locally. You're not just a business owner, you're like a key part of the community's fabric.
Definitely. So if you're picturing yourself doing this, what's the day-to-day actually look like?
Yeah.
Well, it's dynamic, it's varied, it's very people-focused.
Nice interaction.
Tons. Core activities usually involve business development. That's B2B sales, building relationships, actively working with job seekers and businesses, managing your recruitment team if you have one, building connections, networking constantly in your community, and of course, strategic planning for your own business's growth.
And the sources show some different flavors of the owner's role too, right? Like how hands-on you are.
Exactly. Some models, like Nextstaff, have paths for what they call owner-operators. These folks are really in the thick of it daily, making sales proposals, recruiting calls, maybe even handling timesheets.
Okay, very hands-on.
Yeah. Then they have business development track owners who are more focused on leadership, building and managing the team, looking at the bigger picture, strategic growth. So you can find a fit for your style.
Interesting. Any other unique daily aspects?
Patrice & Associates has that really interesting feature, providing clients and job orders right from day one. Imagine starting work immediately, placing people, generating revenue, while you build your own local client base. That's a huge head start.
Yeah, hitting the ground running.
And Pride staff owners, their focus evolves more towards developing their team, doing business development out in the field, having those higher-level strategy talks with clients as the business grows.
Okay, good overview of the life. Now, As we round this out, let's touch on some key differentiators. What makes one franchise stand out from another? Awards and recognition are often a good indicator.
For sure. And Express Employment Professionals has an incredible track record there, ranked #1 staffing franchise by Entrepreneur Magazine for, 13 or 14 years running?
That's amazing consistency. It points to a really solid model.
It really does. And Pride Staff has a unique claim, too. They're the only nationwide staffing firm to win Best of Staffing awards for both client and talent satisfaction for 15 years straight.
15 years.
Yeah, putting them in the top, 0.1% of the industry for satisfaction. That says a lot about their service quality. Next Staff also highlights being an award-winning franchise, often positioning themselves as the #1 value staffing agency.
Value proposition. Got it. What about unique programs or incentives for new owners?
Express has that fast-track program. New owners can potentially earn back their entire franchise fee. $20 Ks for hitting certain milestones, $40 if you hit both revenue and recruitment targets early on.
Wow, earn back the fee. That's compelling.
Very. Plus, they offer a 50% discount on the franchise fee for veterans, which is a great initiative.
Definitely. Anything else like that?
Patrice & Associates has a regional developer program. That's for someone looking to build a bigger footprint, maybe overseeing around 25 territories, getting a cut of the fees and royalties from those units. Building a mini network, essentially.
For the empire builders.
Exactly. And we mentioned Pride Staff waiving that $40,000 franchise fee through April 2025. That's a huge upfront saving.
That waiver is significant. Okay, lastly, market focus. Does specialization matter?
It seems to. Different franchises target different niches. CPG recruitment, for instance, is very clear. They focus only on full-time direct hire placements. They're explicitly not a temp agency. That allows deep specialization.
Laser focus.
Yeah. Then you have Patrice & Associates, the leader in hospitality recruiting. They serve an industry where apparently almost 75% of hotels are short-staffed right now. Talk about targeting a high-need area.
No kidding. Huge demand there.
Next Staff offers multiple verticals, IT, healthcare, commercial industries. This gives franchisees flexibility to pick an area that matches their background or where they see local opportunities.
So more choice there.
Pride Staff covers a broader range, temp to hire, direct hire, both blue-collar jobs like warehouse and light industrial, and white-collar like admin and accounting. They mainly target small to medium businesses.
A bit of everything for SMEs.
Pretty much. And Snelling serves a really wide spectrum: medical, finance, IT, engineering, manufacturing, admin, clerical, loads of industries. Plus, they have a national accounts program. It just shows the sheer breadth of opportunity within staffing. You can really tailor it.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive. The staffing industry, especially through a franchise model, really does look like a compelling venture. You've got this massive growing market fueled by fundamental changes in how we work.
Absolutely. And you're backed by these comprehensive franchise systems, the training, the tech, the back office support. You're not going it alone.
Plus, the financials look attractive. Often accessible entry points, strong potential profitability, good cash flow models, sometimes even fast break-even times. And crucially, it offers that chance for work-life balance and the satisfaction of making a real difference.
Helping people, helping businesses, helping your community. It's quite a package.
It really is.
The world of work is changing fast. This shift towards flexible, contingent work isn't slowing down. So if you're looking for a business that puts you right at the center of that change, empowering job seekers and companies, what kind of legacy could you build? How could you help shape the future of work right there in your own community? What part of bridging that gap between talent and demand really stands out to you? Something to think about.
It's definitely food for thought. Sound a sting. This podcast is powered by yourfranchisecoach.com.